What is going on, guys? How are we all doing? So, going to be taking a look at a little RDA that's been out for quite a while, and it has been designed by the Vaping Bogan. It is the Vandy Vape Bonza Rda, the original one. Let's take a little look at this. Ooh, let's see if that focuses in. So, you've got the little Bonza Rda. It is really nice. So, how this video is going to work, what's happened here? One of my mates has asked me to review this RDA, and I was like, well, listen, I don't have it. Can I lend yours for a week? Have a good little go over it and get a little review up of it? I was like, yeah, sure. So, we're going to throw a little build on this device, and then we're going to come back up the top. I'm going to show you how to build it, how I wick it, and then we're going to come up the top and I'm going to tell you all my pros, all my thoughts and all the features that come, all my thoughts and all my pros and cons of this device. So, the Bonza by the Vaping Bogan. Let's have a little build on this, shall we? Cheers all in a sec, guys. So, welcome to the table camera section of the Vandy Vape Bonza. So, let's say one of my friends lent me his device, so I'm not entirely sure if everything's actually in the box that comes in the box originally when you buy it. But here it is. On the front, you've got a nice big plastic box window. You've got a TPD warning. You've got Vandy Vape embossed on the top. You've got on the inside, underneath the actual RDA. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can, can't you? You've got Bonza Rda pressed in. And on the back, you've got a big TPD warning. I know what's missing here. Comes in a big sleeve around here that's got all the specifications that comes inside the box. But we'll have a little look. So, inside the box, you receive your, if I can get it out, you receive your Bonza Rda. You've got the Vaping Bogan's logo there. You've got some nice honeycomb airflow. You've got some on the same there, on the base of the tank. On the base of the RDA, you've got Bonza Rda, you've got the Vandy Vape serial number, you've got the Vaping Bogan signature and manufactured by Vandy Vape. You've got a nice protruding 510, so it is very, very mech mod safe, hybrid safe. And here you've got a little screw that plugs into your positive post deck. And on the top, on the adjustable airflow, let me zoom in on that. Oof. And on the top, you've got a nice little Maori looking kind of design on it. And a really nice resin drip tip. Really nice resin drip tip. To change the airflow, I can't do it now because my O-rings are really dry. Let's have a look at this build deck. So you've got a really deep juice reservoir there. And I've got a nice wonky pin. So you've got nice big flatheads, big beefy flathead screws, and a nice little raised post clamp system. So, I'll show you how this works now before I'm putting a build on it. So with the bottom one there, all you need to do to clamp it shut is just screw it, give it a little screw. And can you see the deck raising and lowering down? If I do it in reverse, you do that with both sides. So you've got your lower leg goes onto here and your upper leg goes onto here. Your lower leg goes onto here, then your upper leg goes onto here. So welcome back up to the up top section. Hope you like the little build montage that I usually do. Like, there's a little bit of feedback in that, if you wouldn't mind, because I want to know, I always want to get better, do you know what I mean, guys? So, the Bonza Rda. It's a reviewer's product. It's one of many, many reviewer's products that are being released to the market over the past, like, 12 months. Everyone's got one. The Bogan's got one. Jay Hayes has got like 10. Mike Vapes has got like 50. Tony B with the Pulse series, there's millions and millions and millions. But this has been designed by the Vaping Bogan, and he's put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think it shows. So, what do I like about this RDA? What I really, really like about it is the overall look on it and the airflow. The airflow is so unbelievably smooth. It really, really is. You get the nice drip tip on the top, and they get two other drip tips, so that's going to get a pro as well, which you can't argue about. The flavour on this thing, oh my god. The flavour is really crisp, it's really clear. You can tell all the notes. Obviously, a lot of that depends on your build, and it depends on how you wick the device. But naturally, the flavour on this thing is absolutely amazing. You've got the nice domed, curved thing on the top of the top cap, and that definitely adds to the flavour. You've got a really, really deep juice well. 4ml, as far as I'm aware, it's like a 4mm deep juice well, and you can hold a lot of juice into that. Like, you can really chain vape on this for ages and ages and ages. Like, I'm running this on 70 watts on the Aspire Dynamo, which is one of my absolute favourite mods at the moment. It really, really is. So, I like the airflow. I like how smooth the airflow is, and really, really, you can like fine tune it down to suit exactly your needs, depending on what build, what the size of your build. The way I run mine, don't know if that's going to focus in. It's not. But the way I've got mine, I've got 1.5 of the top caps, the holes completely closed off. I found if that is completely open, it's a little bit too airy. It's just a little bit too airy for me. But with 1.5, it just adds just enough air restriction to give you a nice bit of a throw kick. Not much, just enough so you know you're actually vaping on something, and the flavour is absolutely to die for. Let's have a little drink of me gin. Nice one to CJ, one of our customers, and Sarah for the nice little lovely bottle of, what is it? Orange Tanqueray. Fucking gorgeous, really, really is. So, the actual drip tip that it comes with, you've got like a nice jade. With the silver one, obviously, you get like a nice resin drip tip, and on the silver one, it looks like it's jade that you've got on the top. It looks like it's jade with a nice marbled effect onto it, and the grip that you've got on the airflow is really, really sublime as well. So, I've absolutely talked loads and loads and loads of pros on this. Time to slate it a little bit. A few things that I don't like about it. What don't I like about it? So something that I don't like about it is a part of the build deck. Can't see it now because of the way I've built it and wicked it. But on the two inner posts with the screw that comes down and crops all the way back up, you know what I'm on about, I showed you it before. I'd have liked that to have like a rail in between it as well. So like, I found quite a few times that if you're unscrewing it, it'll say if it's meant to be in like that'll jolt out of place slightly, and you're not going to get a firm grip on your wires. So that is something that I think needs to be improved. It's something that I'm not entirely happy about. Just a little thin rail just to keep them in place. I don't know how it would work, but something needs to be done about that in my opinion. It's just not absolutely right. I'm not sure if they've released it in the Bonza 1.5. I'll have to check up on that. And one thing as well that I don't like about this, which I do know that they have updated in the Bonza 1.5, so it's not really that much of a con. Little locking system for when you close off your airflow, so that you know your airflow is going to be pointed directly at your coils. With this, with the original Bonza, it doesn't have any such feature, but with the Bonza 1.5, they've got it, so like you can't really complain, because the con that it is in this thing is sorted for the next one. And in all honesty, guys, they're the only two little cons I've found with this RDA. I'm still dying. I'm not dying to because I never want to give a bad review to a thing. But if it is a bad product, I'd love to give it a bad review and just say it how it is, because everything that I've done so far, like 95% of it have been absolutely outstanding reviews. I think I've been really lucky in the products that I picked up in over my time in vaping, and I haven't found really a bad product or anything like massively nitpicky, because overall I've enjoyed pretty much everything that I've used. So the Bonza Rda by Vandy Vape. Let's give it a rating out of 10. And a rating out of 10, I'm going to have to give it 8 out of 10. Couldn't give it full points because I'm going to have to knock a point off for the little notch system not being in place. I'm going to have to knock a point off. 3 points is going to be a 7 out of 10. Another con. I don't like that it just, the airflow closes over and blocks. I would much prefer to see a step down system rather than a step across system, if you know what I mean, on the airflow. So because of that, overall it's going to get a 7 out of 10. If that had a step down system for your airflow so we could finally tune it down, because I find, like the way I do man with 3.5, I think I'd much prefer just to take off a layer off the top of it and then have just 2 slots of airflow rather than 3 slots. I think that'd be a little bit better in my opinion. The locking system, I needs a little bit, has to get a point knocked off it for that, because it can be a pain in the arse. But the actual airflow as well, it's got a really good thing. So once you set your airflow, you know it's set. You absolutely know it's set and it's not going anywhere whatsoever. And the little rail thing that I said earlier on, with the way that the center post, the 2 center posts on the builder, the way sometimes that they spin out and then you don't get a proper grip on your wire, and it's a bit of a pain to get back in, because unless if you've got big fat sausage fingers like I have, it is a bit of a pain. So overall, 7 out of 10. Now that I've reviewed this, I am going to have to get my hands on the Bonza 1.5 and compare the two of them together and see if there's any real difference between them, because obviously I've not actually used one, and all of that I heard about it so far is what I've heard about it rather than what it actually is. So it's going to compare, if everything's that I've complained about with the original Bonza is updating the Bonza 1.5, then happy bloody days. 7 out of 10 on the Bonza Rda, and I've really enjoyed it for the past week. Thank you, Scott, for letting me use it for you, mate. So, my name is Bobo. Obviously, this is the Vapery. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification to get up to date with all my latest news and reviews. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And remember, it doesn't matter whether you use rebuildable atomizers. It doesn't matter whether you use stock coils. It doesn't matter whether you sub on, whether you mouth to lung, whether you do it. As long as you're not smashing the bifties, you're doing good by my book. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye. Bye.